What's up, guys? I'm doing something a little different in today's video. I claimed I was continuing Destiny 2 content, and I'm still planning to do that. I know I've been uploading Peak a little bit, but just it was the final update, and that was cool. But I felt I needed to speak about the weird dissension going on right now in the Destiny slash Marathon community. I know saying that is going to get me killed, putting the slash there rather than saying, and on completely different sides, but it's all, two sides of the same coin. One of the things I want to touch on is a lot of people have been calling Aztecross a right wing grifter. On the surface, do I agree with that? I I think he could be right wing. Is he a grifter? Not necessarily in that sense. No, I know he has shared tweets from Grums and Christopher Barrett, the Sex Pest, and also Asmongold. Yes, they are terrible people and shouldn't be spoken about. But specifically when it comes to Christopher Barrett, he knows what he's talking about. Unfortunately, he also knows how to fucking be a sex pest and freak women out. But I'm not looking for advice on that. So, is Asdacross right wing potentially? It's never really crossed my mind. I'm not gonna lie to you because he purposely keeps it out of his content. Do I think anyone should be sharing statements from Asmongold and Grums? Not particularly, but Grums was in the conversation with Christopher Barrett, and Barrett's opinion, despite being disgusting as a person, is unfortunately valid because he worked on Destiny, he worked on Marathon. Granted, obviously, you could take the time to think, I should take everything he says about Bungie directly with a pinch of salt because he hates the company because he got fired and he tried to sue him and failed. So he is an embarrassment because of Bungie, essentially, in his head, when we all know it's because of his own behavior. But he is going to be biased towards Bungie. But when it comes to just talking about normal game development, he is unfortunately a good source. I've seen a tweet where someone says that Astacross called them both reliable sources. I feel like putting them in the video is sort of calling them a reliable source, but at no point in time did he say they were a reliable source word for word. Now, I know this probably looks like I am turning right wing on you all. I'm not. I'm not going to continue defending Astacross either because at this point in the video, I need to talk about the important part, which is he should really speak out about the horrific stuff that his fans are saying. Now, it's not all his fans, because obviously Grum's fans, Asmongold fans, and I was going to say Christopher Barrett fans, but he doesn't have any. They are part of the problem. Also, the fact that the White House itself shared a tweet about Destiny when it ended. So that's also brought a lot of right wing people to LARP about being a Destiny fan. But it does need to be said that content creators, not not former content creators, like Datto doesn't need to say anything; he's gone. But people who are going to claim to be some sort of knight in shining armor for Destiny really should speak out against the things that have been said, the horrible, bigoted things that have been said. I'm here to say, despite being a tiny creator, so I know it doesn't really matter, I am against all the bigoted shit that's been said. I don't particularly care about Marathon as a game. I'm not going to play it. I don't like extraction shooters, and that's fine. But do I want it to die and Bungie to go out of business? No, that's weird. That's parasocial. Putting a parasocial ideology to a company is strange. Like people look at Bungie like it's a person and like they hate them. It's a company that's trying to make money. It's nothing personal. And people also like to talk, specifically someone on Twitter called Blue, who put me in a quote unquote loony bin the other day because of my opinions, apparently. He likes to blindly defend Asdacross no matter what. He blindly defends Destiny no matter what, and he just hates on Marathon 24/7 and says like essentially that Marathon needs to die. Now, the two issues with that is one, if Marathon dies, Bungie dies with it. Right? Yes. Oh, the Bungie dev's already gone. But the point is, the living lifeline of Destiny continuing is Bungie's existence. I'm not saying people have to support Marathon. I'm not saying people have to play it, but posting about it and talking about how it needs to die, you are actively ruining your own chances of getting more Destiny content in the future. Granted, it is a distant future and a very slim chance, but you are ruining your own chances. And on the topic of Marathon killing Destiny, it may have been sort of a nail in the coffin. I don't believe it was, but it could have been. But the real issue we need to look into is the greed of the players. We spent so long making Bungie make more and more and more and more content and complaining when any of the content went up in price with seasonal content coming out because people could not stand the idea of playing something else between the two DLCs that we were getting. So then the seasonal slop train started. Then we complained when all the seasonal slop was the same and boring. So then they had to put more effort into that, which meant less effort into the DLCs and more money spent, less money earned because when they tried to put season pass prices up and everything, we threw our toys out the pram. Now, am I saying we should just blindly spend money on Destiny, whatever they do? No. My point is they had the perfect formula in Destiny 1 with the two DLCs, and our greed for content and our greed in general just ruined it all and made Destiny the completely unsustainable wreck that it was. Obviously, yes, I'm aware higher ups at Bungie did it with weird expenditures and payouts and fucking, weird execs that didn't give a shit about the game, wanted everything to be as cheap and easy to make as possible. They also had their part to play. But my point is, we are not blameless as players. We have a blame, just like everyone else does. And I'll tell you how it's formed into a hierarchy. We need to take blame far before Marathon does. Is Marathon perfect? I don't know. I've literally never seen. I've seen like 7 minutes of gameplay from it, and it's because I was watching that dude who defended Aztecross the other day. I have absolutely no idea what the game is or about or like. From what it looks like, it seems like they're having some issues with hit reg and lag and stuff like that, which I hope they get it sorted because, again, the continuation of Bungie is the continuation of Destiny because Sony will just pocket the Destiny IP for the rest of history and do nothing with it. So, in closing, do I think Aztecross is a grifter? No. Do I think he might be right wing? Not really my business. Perhaps. It doesn't really affect me because he's not sharing any hateful rhetorics. Does he need to speak out about the hateful shit that happens on Twitter about transphobia, homophobia, all that stuff? If he's against it, he should speak out against it because it's starting to look like he enjoys it because he's not saying anything about it and trying to ignore it. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, share, subscribe, the usual stuff. Let me know down in the comments what you think about it, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye for now.